Hi guys, I'm back again with some new car parts for the Neon. This week I got my last two little pieces I want before Speed Sport. So first thing is I bought a lip. This time around I didn't want to go with carbon fiber because I knew that if it were to get cracked or touch a curb, I'd get upset like my last one that was all broken into pieces. So this particular lip is just a cheap little plastic one, and it's actually for a Mach 1 Mustang. So they almost fit. Usually what you gotta do is you just gotta cut a little, couple little slits there and it will fit perfectly on my SRT4. And then the other part that I got in is actually a fender brace. So this here is supposed to help with the turning radius in an SRT4, which are typically terrible. And this is what it looks like. So this particular piece, when I get my fender off, it's going to, I believe, hook up something like that, or actually like this. So we'll give that a go. I'll try to do some testing to actually see whether or not it works. But anyways, I'm gonna install my front lip right now, so I'll let you watch while I do it. So like I said, this spoiler isn't a perfect fit. And if you pull it up and you put it on the front chin spoiler, it's about center there. You can see it doesn't quite meet the contour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut bunch of slits here to give it some relief so I can bend it out. So in this particular spot, rather than just cutting it, I'm actually gonna remove a chunk so I can bend that in. I'll show you here in a sec. So like I said on this, it doesn't quite meet the contour right here. It's a little bit more square on the actual Mustang lip. So what I did is I'm going to cut slots here so I can bend it more around. So like I said, if you leave it the way it comes, it's not gonna quite come around nice and round. So with those relief marks, I'll be able to give it some more leeway here. You can either bend it in or outwards. And when I rivet this on, it should fit nice. Like that, and then I'll cut off the end here, because obviously it's going to be a little longer. So, I'll do it on the other side. I would recommend having a nice sharp knife, not like this one here that's dull. Okay, there's my first one. And I did two behind. So I do one here and then a couple there. So if you just do one, you bend it, it's going to make it quite square on the edge. And probably this lip here, it does come with hardware to put it on. I'll probably just rivet it on, to be honest, with aluminum rivets rather than doing bolts. They're fun, they just work a little bit easier, and then you can just drill them off. But I probably won't be taking this lip off unless I hit a curve and need to replace it, which doesn't really matter because these lips here are only about $100 versus paying $300 for a carbon fiber one. So you can bend that one. It should be fine. I'm gonna make some relief cuts here too, just so if I do have to bend it outwards. So I'm not gonna cut out a chunk, I'm just gonna put a couple cuts here and then two over here. This thing here actually is a center marked, so I think that's gonna work perfectly. You can see it's kind of, the front bumper, you only have this much room to actually rivet this end, and then it just slopes down. So what I'll do first is I'll probably rivet in these first 3 holes. Like I said, I'm using aluminum rivets. If you use steel ones, it's just going to rip a hole right through your bumper. So, nice thing is with this, like I said, it has the marker here showing the center. So I'll probably put these 3 rivets in and get it centered, and then I'll work my way around. I'm just eyeballing this, making sure I get it on. I'm gonna drill my first hole straight. Before I put this on, I'll show you again all the slits that I made. So you can see I did this just to kind of give you some bit of relief. I mean, it is a pretty flimsy piece of plastic, but it's better to do it this way, so then if you do need to adjust it, it's not going to be hard to move. Alright, that's good. So I'll put my first rivet in. Perfect. That's gonna be perfect. And then like I said, I'm gonna work my way out, because we're gonna have to bend this a little bit. So I'll put my 2 rivets in right there. Actually, sorry, I'll put a rivet in here and a rivet in here. All right, so just some more holes here. You just gotta make sure that it's meeting your lip so it's nice and flush. You don't want to stick in far and it'll look kind of funny. Okay, so my second one. And like I said, this is what I'm using for rivets. They're just little aluminum ones. You don't want to use steel because it will pull a hole, or it'll pull the rivet right through your bumper, because it's just cheap plastic we're using. And I'm just using a standard rivet gun. I could use bolts, but Then I have to have my bumper. It'd be easier to have my bumper off, and rivets are just as easy. You can just drill them out if you need to get it off at any point. Okay. Okay, so now this is where it's more squared off, where those relief cuts are gonna come in handy, so. So like I said, because of this chin spoiler being for a Mustang, I'm gonna have to cut some of it off. Now, to do this properly, you wouldn't be using a dull Olfa knife, but as you can see, it's pretty damn flimsy, so quite easy to cut. It's pretty easy to remove. And probably once I get some more rivets, I'll rivet one more in right there just to make it nice and tight. But anyways, that side's done. So you can see, I mean, it's not bad looking for just a cheap plastic lip. It's better than paying $300 US for some sort of carbon fiber one. And now I gotta finish riveting it on this side here. Give you a quick look. So, she's pretty well on. The only thing I gotta do is trim off that extra 4 inches right there. So, obviously, it's going to lower the front end almost 3 inches. Without actually doing that to the suspension, because I don't want to bounce my car off every single pothole and bump here. So yeah, it looks pretty darn good. And like I said, this is a Mach 1 Mustang lip. You can buy them on Amazon Canada. I think I paid $100 for this one, so it's pretty cheap. If you scrape it, it doesn't really matter. Just replace it or But these ones here, they're quite flexible, so unlike carbon fiber, if you hit a curb, it's not just going to crack into 1,000 pieces, it's just going to scrape it and it should be fine. Anyways, hope you enjoy, and I will be putting on these fender braces in the next video. And I'm going to try to do a test where it will actually show whether or not it helps with any bit of turning radius, because these cars here turn like a tank, and they're terrible. Anyways, thank you for watching.